Right now, 5:32. The government shutdown, all too real for federal employees today. Thousands will not be getting a paycheck. You're getting a live check, a live look at Washington this morning. We are at day 21. It's now times for the longest shutdown in our country's history. The Senate passed a measure that, if approved by the House, would guarantee back pay for federal employees, but it doesn't kick in until the shutdown's over, which doesn't help with the bills that are due now.
Our E-Team is up early, bringing you more news stories.
For many federal workers here in Northeast Ohio, today will be the start of a tough time.
Yeah, the E-Team's Kevin Barry shares some of their stories and finds out what they're going to do with no end in sight to this shutdown.
Protecting the shores of Lake Erie while working for free. That's the cold, hard reality for the men and women of the U.S. Coast Guard caught up in the middle of the government shutdown.
Even with the shutdown, they're required to report to work. How are you going to pay for groceries? How are you going to pay for gas? How are you going to pay your rent, your mortgage, your bills?
The Coast Guard falls under the Department of Homeland Security, which isn't funded during the shutdown. The same goes for the EPA. CYNTHIA COLQUITT, who works for the agency, has stopped using her dishwasher to save on her water bill and cut back on her dog's food because for the first time in 26 years as a federal employee, she won't receive a paycheck.
Trying to take one day at a time and just figure it out. I'm trying to keep food in the house, making sure that we do eat.
The single mom living paycheck to paycheck like so many other workers impacted by the shutdown, frustrated with leaders in Washington.
I can't really understand the depth of why they're doing it and why it's still ongoing, but I just know that it's affecting normal people.
Some farmers aren't getting their government support checks promised when tariffs caused them to lose soybean business. One farmer we heard from was able to get his check, but since the Department of Agriculture is shut down, business is at a standstill.
Well, they're fighting over this impasse and a border wall. It's probably detracting from other issues that are kind of important to the running of the United States government.
Locally, Good Samaritans are pulling together fundraisers and food drives, helping the members of the Coast Guard pay their bills and put food on the table while the shutdown continues. In Cleveland, I'm Kevin Barry for the E-Team.
Congressional leaders in the White House are expected to work through the weekend to see if a deal can be made to reopen the government.
And coming up at 6, we'll show you how some local businesses are helping those furloughed workers out here at home.